field. So during the Chola administration, there were king, council of minister, and certain officials. Officials were higher and the lower officials were working for the purpose of the state. Again, the state was divided into mandalams into valanadus or districts, and a group of villages was considered as one nadu. During this time, the Chola rulers used to give land grants on free of cost for the Brahmans and the temples. This type of land grant was known as Brahmadeya. Brahmadeya. So the Brahmadeya is the land grant which was given by the kings to the Brahmanas and for the temples. And this could be one of the reason why the large number of Brahmana settlements came up in the South India. And coming to the assemblies, there were two types of assemblies. One is Sabha and Ur. The Brahmanas, as I said, formed the Sabha, while the rest of the non-Brahmanas were formed the Ur. So Brahmana, the group of people who were Brahmanas, they were considered as a Sabha, and those people who were non-Brahmanas, they were considered as Ur. And one more group was there, Naga Ram was the another group which consisted of trades and merchants. So totally three kinds of people were you can see in the society during the Chola period. One is Sabha, Ur and Nagaram. Sabha consists of Brahmanas, Ur consists of non-Brahmanas, Nagaram consists of the people who were doing the trading and merchant activities. So these three types of assemblies we could see in the Cholas administration, that is Sabha, Ur and Nagaram. And in one of the famous inscription, that is Uttarameru inscription, which will be found in Tamil Nadu, it gives more information about electing of an individual to look after a village. How one will rule a village and what are his qualities should be and how he should be. All these rules and conditions we can see in the Uttarameru inscriptions. Now coming to the contribution of Chola rulers to the field of agriculture. How did they develop the agricultural field? And for them, land revenue was the important source of income for the Cholas, as they were giving the there were a group of villages consist of Velalas or the peasant families. They used to pay the taxes on the incomes in as a rent and taxes for the having the lands. So this land revenue was important for the source of income for the Cholas, and they used to fix the rate or the amount basis of the survey they make, and on the quality, land quality, they used to fix the 1/3 of the produce. Whatever the people is going to produce from the agricultural field, 1/3 of that produce was fixed as a share to the state share. Well, the state share was fixed to be the 1/3 of the produce by the people, and the land based on the practice of the land survey through the regular intervals, they used to classify based on the land on quality, after which the amount of revenue was revised. That is, they used to raise or reduce, or they used to change the value of its revenue. Then agriculture, as I said, agriculture was an important occupation. They gave more attention to maintain and improve the irrigational facilities. For this, the village assemblies were responsible for the irrigation facilities. As I said, Uttarameru inscription was one of the best example for the election of a village panchayat, head of the village panchayat. In that, they have mentioned the details as to how the village panchayat has to look care after the village. In that, this person is one of the responsible for the agricultural facilities to provide for the people. And they also built canals, tanks, dams and wells in order to have water facility for the agricultural purpose. And during this Chola period, they have contributed many things to the field of agriculture, because agriculture was the main occupation of the India, which we were studying, which we know. And the Cholas ruled for a long time, after which there was a gradual decline. They defeated the Pandyas, and this Chola dynasty finally came to an end in 1279 CE. So in today's class, students will came to know how the Chola's inscription has given information related to Chola period. Like it tells about the information about rulers, their military achievements, what are their functions, how the assembly used to be conducted, about land grants and religious practices. All these were gives us the information in the inscription. Coming to the Chola administration, the state was divided by the king, and under him there was having a council of ministers and certain officials, and the state was divided into mandalams, valanadus, and again to nadu. And there were three types of assemblies or the people in the society like Sabha, Ur, and Nagaram. And coming to the agricultural field, the land revenue was the main income and agriculture was the main occupation. And in order to develop or improve the agricultural field, they contributed and they maintained and improved the irrigational facilities and water facilities for the agricultural field, like construction of canals, tanks, dams, and wells. All these were the contribution for the field of agriculture. And the Chola dynasty finally came to an end in 1279 CE. So students, in today's class we have ended up the second chapter, that is the new kings and the kingdoms. So please complete the worksheet by today, and I will be sending the notes in PDF by evening, and please update the notes. Be safe and be healthy. Thank you.